Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slang Hope. And I got another video for y'all. And this video is about a post that I seen on Instagram on the Shades Room. And it was by Ella, Ella Bands or whatever, like A Boogie's baby mom. By the way, she was in Miami when I was out there. But anyway, boom. So she made a she made a post that said, niggas so big on loyalty and respect, but don't have none when it comes to women. Just men. Not their significant others, just friends. Why? Shit's so weird to me. So, it's not so much the post. It's also like all the things that the women were saying in the comment section, right? About men being gay. Like, oh, they like their friends, they male friends more than the girls. Like, they low key, they on the down low, they this, they that. It was just a whole bunch of shit talking about men hanging out with their friends, with their bros. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give a few points. I'm gonna make, because it brought up a whole bunch of other things in my mind. So just bear with me. So my first point that I wanted to make, before I even make my point, when I say men or women, I usually mean the average, right? Obviously, it's not all men, it's not all women. It's an average, on an average basis, right? And it could just be based on my experience and so forth. So obviously, something's going on in her situation. I'm not here. I can't talk about her situation. Something made her post that, right? So it has to be something of some type of personal value to her. So what I would say is this. I do kind of agree with the when she said about respect and loyalty, right? A lot of times men don't respect. I'm gonna assume she's talking about black dudes, right? Because she said niggas. I don't know. But a lot of times men don't respect women. That's true. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times men don't respect men too, right? They don't respect women or men. They don't, some of these dudes don't got respect for nobody. And that's just the facts, right? And I'll give you an example. When a man approaches a woman and he tries to talk to her, whatever, and she might say, "Oh, I'm not interested. I'm good. I don't want to talk." A man might ignore that and keep talking to her. To me, that's some sort of like, kind of like almost disrespectful in a way. Like if somebody declines and says, "You know what, I'm good," and you still keep being persistent, I think, it's kind of like, damn, you don't respect her boundaries. You don't respect that she don't want to talk to you. So I can see that, how that could be disrespectful. Another thing that happens sometimes, a woman might say, "I'm not interested," right? Men keep going. And then when she says, "I have a boyfriend," they might be like, oh, this might be the only time when some men might back up, right? When they hear another man. In some cases, men don't care that you have a boyfriend. So this is not just the disrespect towards her. I think in some cases also a disrespect, like, to she's telling you, "I got a boyfriend," and you just still don't care, right? So I think, and it's other ways too, right, in which like men don't respect women. So I kind of agree with her when she made that statement. So that's my first point. My first point is that if some men don't respect nobody, whether it's men or women, and there's some men that, yeah, they're very selective where they disrespect. Two, my second point is that the post kind of like reflects some type of like competition between men and women, right? Because she's saying, oh, they're loyal and respectful only to men, not women. So, of course, anytime somebody bring up gender, it's almost like, why you do this for men, but you don't do this for us? It kind of like creates this type of thing, right? And I think that like sometimes women do not understand. I think loyalty and respect looks different when it's being carried out towards men and when it's being carried out towards women. And this is going to lead into my next point, which is some women bring nothing to the table except sex. So I'll give you an example. When I was in the gang back in the days, I was with my girlfriend one time. I was in the house. So we in the house chilling, doing what we do, you know what I mean? And then my man's called me and he says, yo, he let me know he was in pursuit of an individual that had shot at us. Probably like a week before that or two. I don't know. Whatever. He was still in pursuit of a dude that we had beef with. That, you know what I'm saying? He telling me like, yo, like come downstairs. So I hopped out the bed. You know what I'm saying? I grabbed my toolbox and I proceeded to be on my way. Now, some women might look at this like, yo, you chose your man over me, right? They might look at that like you're more loyal to your man than me. But the reality is this, like, it's not a competition. At the end of the day, some men, you don't know what this dude have done for me. So it's a lot of things that go into it. For example, if a dude saved my life, or if a dude helped me out with money when I was at the bottom, if a dude have done certain things for me, I'm gonna look at him or hold him in a certain regard differently than a woman who just might just be giving me sex. And that's the third point, right? That some women don't bring nothing to the table but sex. And they want a whole bunch of, like, they want to be held in high standard, right? But in reality is, all I get from you is sex. And this is not everybody, and this is not justifying what's going on, but I'm just saying, you as a woman, you got to ask yourself, like, what are you really doing, right? Do you have a sense of humor? Do you teach me different things, right? Do we bond in a certain way? Do we like to do the same activities, right? Like, it should be more than just sex. So I feel like if a guy has friends that have done so much shit for him, and he has his woman, and this is why I tell men, stop chasing booty. Because when you chase booty, you're gonna miss out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna miss out on other things that there's other women out there that bring besides just sex. A lot of dudes end up with a shorty, with a woman, right? That all they getting out of her is sex. All they getting out of her is sex and liability. She taken from them. So, and a lot of women also feel like, oh, but you know, that's all they need to do, just give sex, right? They do it for birthdays, they do it for holidays, they do it that's it. We see it all the time. But anyway, this is not about that. The whole point is that some men might value their friendships because their friendships got them through some hard times. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I went to prison, right? So a lot of times the people that did stuff to me when I was away was men. I'm saying it was my homies that looked out for me. That don't mean I'm not gonna respect women and I'm not gonna be loyal to the right woman, right? When they come around. But at the end of the day, loyalty is you only give loyalty to somebody based on how much loyalty they have given to you. And that's just how this shit works. Because a lot of dudes be out here, you know, they be doing sneaky shit to men too, right? A lot of dudes be trying to take their girls on the low. They be setting their mans up. They be undercutting them, doing underhanded shit. So sometimes you have individuals who just don't have respect and loyalty. So yeah, that tied to the, if you just bring sex to the table, your value around that man it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be that high because all he doing is having sex with you. So this is something that you got to pay attention to too. And my last point is this. It's funny because all the women in the comment section, all the women in, hold on. All the women in the comment section were saying all this stuff about, oh, dudes is gay, dudes are on the down low, dudes are this, dudes are that, blah, 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 right? They're saying all this crazy stuff, right? Only because men have a certain bond or a certain relationship with their homies, right? So it's funny to me that a lot of women were saying these things, right? Because I feel like women do way more questionable stuff than guys. And I think like it's some hypocrisy shit going on. Like, for example, it's okay, right, for some reason for women to be gay, right? It's okay for women to be sexual with each other and not necessarily be gay, right? Like, it's okay for women to see each other naked, right? It's okay for women to, like, when you go to the club or you go anywhere, it's okay. Random women would just randomly be touching girls' boobs and they randomly be touching their ass. They randomly, it's okay for women to do a whole bunch of sexual things to other women. And that, I think that's questionable. Like you being in a space like naked with your female friends and y'all just looking at each other's private parts and y'all touching each other and y'all doing, like, that is completely weird to me, right? But women don't think that's nothing, right? They frame it as, oh, we're comfortable with our bodies and we're not insecure and we're not this and we're not that and we're just, yeah, like, you know, they frame it in a way where it's just like it's acceptable, right? And look at this. If a man spends too much time in the studio with his friends, oh, yeah, that's gay. That's sus. He's sus. If a man hangs out with his boys and play video games, oh, that's sus. They like each other. Girl, they doing something. If a man just, boy, the guy's not out, or they just at the bar a lot, or they just doing certain things, it's always associated with they on the down low, they gay, they this, they that. And that's not nowhere near as extreme as the things that women be doing with each other. Like, you don't see guys in the club just gonna grab a dude butt. You don't see guys you don't see guys doing some of the things. You don't hear about, oh yeah, I was at my homeboy crib and you know, we was just laid up, we was just in the house naked, we was looking at each other, we was measuring our wee-wees. Like, you just don't hear stuff like that, you know. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I just feel like come on, if what the guys do is questionable, then what y'all do is questionable too. And that was my main purpose of the video. It was just that how guys can't even have a bond with their male friends because it just becomes some sexual stuff. And the reason I think that women always assume some sexual stuff or try to be funny with the sexual stuff is because I think subconsciously they understand that a lot of times all they bring into the table is sex. And which is the reason why maybe a lot of guys might just want to hang out with you. You know, think about it. When a guy tries to talk to you, why does he try to talk to you? A lot of times he's just looking at you. A lot of times he just might be lusting over you, because all he do is see you. Now that's one thing, I just want to be a friend. I want to get to know you. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know you. Whatever. It's one thing. But a lot of times guys are just thinking with like they see a big body, nice, big booty, whatever. It's a lust, right? And they just want to talk to you. So I think subconsciously, because women a lot of times might feel like, okay, like they only really provide sex, and they connect that with time, they might think that like, oh, he spent a lot of time with his mans, you know what I'm saying? They might be doing something. So I just think like, we need to stop competing with each other. This shit is not a competition. A man is gonna hold a certain man in a higher regard, just like a woman, right? Like a man will hold a woman in a high regard that might have saved his life, that might have looked out for him, that might have done certain things. Like I seen it. I seen dudes get held down in prison by a woman and they come home and marry them. I seen that, because they held them in a high regard. And I seen, also women who didn't really do shit, right? Like, and they got discarded. They didn't hold the same value in a man's life. It's the same thing. There's men that might have saved dudes, might have came through, might have held the dude down. He might have always sent that dude commissary. He might have saved him on the block. He might have called him like, yo, dude's shooting at me, and dude's pulling up, and dude's doing certain things. So like, you never understand what somebody has done in somebody's life, and I think it varies. It's not just men and women, but I just think we need to stop looking at shit like a competition. At the end of the day, just like some women be trying to compete with dudes' moms, what are you doing? Like, you're not gonna compete with nobody's mom. Just like you shouldn't be looking at it as a competition between the mom, and you shouldn't be looking at a competition between his friends. Like, picture me trying to compete with my shorty about her friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, picture me like, why can you treat me like your friends? Like, that don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think, man. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know y'all thoughts about the post. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let's have a discussion. But moral of the story, stop looking at shit like a competition, man. Word. Peace.